You're tired of the hacks. You're tired of the 30-day challenges and the overnight success stories that leave you feeling like a failure when you wake up on day 31 and nothing has changed. You feel broken because you're still in the struggle. You feel like you're drifting because the results haven't caught up to your effort yet. But what if I told you that this gap, this uncomfortable space between your work and your reward, is exactly where greatness is born? You know the word Kung Fu. You've seen the movies, you've seen the fights, but you've been lied to about what it actually means. In its true ancient form, Gōngfu has nothing to do with combat. It is a word that describes a person who has mastered a skill through nothing but time and relentless work. It is the art of becoming unbreakable by staying in the fire longer than anyone else is willing to. To understand this, we need to listen to those who lived it. In this video, we are looking at quotes from the true masters, philosophers, warriors, and practitioners who didn't just teach Kung Fu as a way to fight, but as a way to exist. These are the voices of those who realize that mastery is not a destination, but a state of being. If you are currently disappointed, if you feel like you're moving too slow, or if you feel like the world is pushing back against you, welcome. You aren't failing. You are simply in the Gōng, the work. You are currently building the kinetic energy required for mastery. Welcome back to Hypothetics. Today, we stop looking for the exit and start looking for the depth. This is Mastery Kinetics. The 20 Quotes of Mastery Kinetics. Quote 1. I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Bruce Lee. This is the purest definition of Kung Fu. It is not about variety or flashy gimmicks. It is about the terrifying power of repetition. Mastery is found in the boredom of doing the same thing until it becomes a part of your DNA. Quote 2. 1,000 days to forge, 10,000 days to polish. Miyamoto Musashi. Most people quit during the forging process because they hate the heat of the fire. But the warrior knows that after the shape is formed, the real work begins in the silence of the polish. Kung Fu is the patience to stay with the blade until it reflects the soul. Quote 3. The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in war. Shaolin proverb. Disappointment in reality is often a sign of laziness in preparation. Kung Fu is the quiet sweat that no one sees, so that when the world finally tests you, you are already immovable. Your struggle today is the currency you are paying to avoid a catastrophe tomorrow. Quote 4. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Lao Tzu. We often look for Kung Fu to control the world around us, but its true purpose is to control the world within. The kinetics of mastery begin when you stop trying to win arguments and start trying to win the battle against your own impulses. True power is the silence of a self-governed mind. Quote 5. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Confucius. The modern world demands speed, but Kung Fu demands depth. A slow, steady drip of water can eventually split a mountain, while a flash flood leaves nothing behind. Your progress isn't measured by your velocity, but by your refusal to be stagnant. Quote 6. If you want to know the taste of the water, you must drink it. Ip Man. You cannot think your way to Kung Fu. You cannot watch enough videos or read enough books to acquire it. Mastery is a kinetic experience. It requires you to get your hands dirty and taste the bitterness of the struggle for yourself. Quote 7. Persistence is the path to victory. Even a dull knife, if used long enough, will eventually cut through the hardest stone. Zunzi. You may feel like a dull knife today, lacking talent, resources, or luck. But the kinetic energy of persistence creates its own sharpness. If you refuse to be put away, the stone of your circumstances will eventually yield to your edge. Quote 8. To reach the perfection of the art, one must be empty. One must let go of the result and focus on the breath. Bodhidharma. Your disappointment comes from being too attached to the gold medal and not enough to the movement. Gōngfu is the ability to work without the constant need for a pat on the back. When you become empty of ego, you become full of capability. Quote 9. The warrior does not seek the fight, but he is always ready for it. Preparation is the highest form of respect for one's life. Gichin Funakoshi. Living without Gōngfu is a sign of disrespect to your potential. When you treat your daily habits with the seriousness of a warrior preparing for battle, you transform your life into a masterpiece. Being ready is a state of mind that disappointment cannot penetrate. Quote 10. One does not practice to become a master. One practices because they are a master. The practice is the reward. Morihei Ueshiba. If you are waiting for the day you arrive, you will always be frustrated. The kinetic secret of Gōngfu is realizing that the act of practicing is the arrival. You are a master the moment you choose to never stop training. Quote 11. The mountain does not bow to the wind, regardless of how hard it blows. Be the mountain. Zen proverb. Disappointment is just wind. It is temporary, loud, and ultimately empty. Your Gōngfu is the stone and root that keeps you anchored. Let the world scream and push. Your job is to remain a silent, towering presence. Quote 12. Study strategy over the years and achieve the spirit of the warrior. Today is victory over yourself of yesterday. Miyamoto Musashi. Your only competition is the person you were 24 hours ago. If you are 1% more disciplined today, you have won. Gōngfu is the compound interest of self-improvement, and time is your greatest ally. Quote 13. Greatness is not a destination. It is the ability to endure the mundane with the same intensity as the spectacular. Shaolin teaching. We all want the spectacular moments of success, but Gōngfu is found in the mundane. The way you make your bed, the way you speak to yourself, and the way you handle a boring Tuesday determines your height. The spectacular is just the visible tip of a massive, mundane iceberg. Quote 14. The mind is like water. When it is turbulent, it is difficult to see. When it is calm, everything becomes clear. Prasad Mahes. Turbulence is the modern condition, anxiety, noise, and constant distraction. Gōngfu is the mental kinetics required to stay still while the world spins. Clarity is a weapon that only the disciplined can wield. Quote 15. He who can endure the unendurable is the one who truly knows the way. ancient Chinese proverb. There will be days when the weight feels too heavy and the path feels too dark. This is the unendurable moment where most people turn back. If you can take one more step when you're certain you can't, you have achieved Gōngfu. Quote 16, do not focus on the outcome of the battle, but on the precision of the strike. Sun Tzu. You cannot control if you win, but you can control the quality of your effort. When you stop obsessing over the finish line and start obsessing over the kinetics of the moment, you become unbeatable. Precision is the byproduct of total presence. Quote 17. A bowl is most useful when it is empty. A mind is most powerful when it is willing to learn. Bruce Lee. The moment you think you know everything, your Gōngfu begins to rot. A true master is a perpetual student who views every disappointment as a new lesson. Stay empty, stay hungry, and you will never stop growing. Quote 18, true strength is not in the muscles, but in the will that moves them. Jigoro Kano. Your body will fail you, your circumstances will fail you, and your luck will run out. But the will is the engine of Gōngfu. It is the invisible force that tells the tired body to stand up one more time. Quote 19. The shadow of the master is longer than the reach of the amateur. He sees what is coming because he has been there before. Old martial arts adage experience is the fruit of Gōngfu. By staying in the struggle longer than others, you develop a vision that the amateur lacks. Your past disappointments are actually the data points you need to predict your future victories. Quote 20. Work hard in silence. Let your success be your noise. Anonymous Master Gōngfu is a private affair. It is a dialogue between you and your potential that requires no audience. Stop telling the world what you are going to do and start showing them what you have become through the silence of your work. Mastery Kinetics is not a magic trick. It is the slow, deliberate accumulation of power through the refusal to give up. Gōngfu is the recognition that every minute you spend in the struggle is a minute spent building a version of yourself that the world cannot break. If you are feeling the weight of the work today, remember, you aren't being crushed, you're being forged. If you are ready to master your own kinetics, leave a comment with the words time and work to show you understand the path. Stay disciplined, stay deep. This is Hypothetics.